If you've been curling up with comfort food to get you through the chilly days, you know there's nothing better than a steaming bowl of hot soup.
We want it now. Chef Ed Harris had just what the doctor ordered. He's the author of Veganish, Food You Want to Eat. Ed, soup can be so good.
Yes.
And you don't need, a ton of things. Like very simple recipes are delicious and healthy and good for us. Tell us what we're making.
So today we are making a charred cauliflower soup. Really simple ingredients, but super delicious, and it's a multi-purpose soup. All right. So first things first, I'm gonna just I have oil and my onions and garlic in this saute pan that I lightly started to cook already, and we're just pretty much gonna sweat this to get some color and develop some flavor. One of the key things about cooking plant-based food is that you want to try to create flavor every step of the way.
Looks delicious.
Okay.
So once this is ready, we're gonna remove all of the aromatics, which is our onions and garlic, and we're gonna reserve the oil into the pan that it's in, because we're gonna use that seasoned oil. Yes, we're gonna use this seasoned oil to sear the cauliflower and develop even more flavor.
Okay, so now you're searing cauliflower right there on the stove. How long does it take after you put that in?
Yes. So it takes about 2 to 3 minutes. It really depends on the size that you cut your cauliflower, right? So bigger florets will take a little bit more time. And then also it depends on the flame, if you have it all the way up or, medium flame.
Are you trying to cook it? Are you trying to cook till it's soft or just making it brown?
We're just making it brown. And the reason we're doing that is because cauliflower has natural sugars, and you want to really get a deep caramelization. So by caramelizing them, it brings out way more flavor than if you were to just throw them into your pot that you're going to use to boil them with, right? So all the cauliflower, when it's done being caramelized, it looks like this, right? And it's fully caramelized. And to this, we're going to add the aromatics that we just caramelized earlier on, which is the onions and garlic, right? To that, we're going to add our salt and pepper.
Yes.
You want to definitely season all the way, right?
Okay, what's that?
Then we're adding our fresh thyme, right? I just picked the leaves off so there's less stem.
Wow.
And then to this, we're adding our vegetable stock.
Yum. So it's completely vegan.
Wow, that's good.
Yes, 100%. But if you're not vegan and you wanted to go a different route, you can use chicken stock, you can use veal stock, and you can use anything that would make it not vegan.
Yeah.
So how long do you need to cook that, Ed?
So this will cook for about, I'd say 10 minutes or so, because the florets are small, so they won't take that long. Once it's at this stage, we want to just cover it, bring it up to a full boil, right? The whole point of this is to let the flavors kind of stew together. So cover it, bring it up to a boil, and then turn it down and let it simmer. Once it simmers, we get this really deep, rich broth with the cauliflower that's fully cooked, right?
Yeah.
And by doing it this way, you get a really fork, tender cauliflower, and that's what you want. You want it to almost look translucent, right?
Right.
So once it's ready, we turn the flame off completely, because this is the tricky part. And when I say tricky is because we're about to puree it, and we want to add our cream to this, right?
Oh, is that heavy cream
and when I say
right there?
cream,
Oh, so it's not vegan anymore.
It looks like heavy cream. So when I say cream, this is my coconut milk. And it's a really nice coconut milk. So yes,
It is
yes.
vegan.
I know you like coconut, Hoda.
Yes, I
know
do.
you like
She
coconut.
likes it. She likes it in her oil.
So you put that in the blender and just stir that up?
Puree it?
So once this is boiled and it's cooked, you add your milk to this, right?
Yeah.
And you let it cool for 10 minutes, because the idea is when you put it into your blender, if it's piping hot, once you start blending, the pressure and the heat will pop the lid, and that could be a really bad accident.
Hey, Ed, we got to rock and roll. We got to go, but we want to let you know, not only is it delicious soup, which is a 10, you say it's a great topping for pasta.
Yes, yes. I mean, this soup doubles because it's fully pureed. So literally boil some pasta, toss it in there, a little bit of vegan Parmesan cheese, some chili flakes, parsley, you're good to go.
Ed,
Brilliant.
All these soups look awesome, and all the recipes will be at today.com/food. And check out Ed's book.
Thank you.
I know. Everybody wants it.
It looks delicious.
All right.
You can get it at today.com/shop.
Thank you, Ed.
Welcome back. It is time for Cooking with Cal, and this week's recipe is a souped-up trick I learned during the Olympics in Pyeongchang.
It's another edition of Cooking with Cal. What are we making today?
Chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup. Let's start with some carrots. Wait, these aren't carrots. What are these?
Celery. Pancakes. 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 Oh, pancakes. Oh, pancakes.
Why are you saying pancake?
Peel. I'm ready to peel.
All right, let's peel the carrots.
You literally peel better than your father. Good job.
You want to cut this?
No.
You gonna run away? Want me to tell you when I'm done?
Cal, are you gonna stay for the onion?
It hurts my eyes.
Okay, go stand over there. Okay. Can we continue? Can I go saute the vegetables now? Okay. While that's sauteing, let's do the chicken. Take this.
Skin off.
Yeah, taking the skin off.
There's noodles in there.
So instead of taking the time to boil up a whole chicken, I just bought a pre-cooked chicken at the grocery store. Found some bite-sized pieces, small enough for Ollie to eat. Okay, perfect. And here's my secret. Ramen noodles. So when I was in Korea with the flu, I ate chicken noodle soup every single day, and the noodles they used were ramen noodles, and it was the best chicken soup I've ever had. So I tried to recreate that. So now I add ramen noodles to my soup. A chunk. Thank you.
Not the big chunk, right?
Sometimes you don't like to eat these before they're cooked. It's up to you if you want to use the spice packet. Sometimes I'll use a little bit because it adds a nice little saltiness, but sometimes it doesn't need it. Put a lid on and let this simmer till dinner time.
It looks like butter.
It does look like butter. All right, ready? Here you go. You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. For these recipes and more, head to today.com/.
Food.
Yes.
So I always try to make sure I have some of that in the freezer at any time because, I mean, chicken soup, it's good for the soul.
That's right. And you could have been, I think, a little more compassionate when Cal was crying about the
Well,
onions.
he used to run away with the onions, and he decided to stay. So that's the consequence.
Here's a wet towel. Now, move on. Suck it up, kid.
Give him a wet towel. He got over it. If you don't like the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Hey, Cal, I've got some black pepper here.
Are you questioning my
No,
parenting skills?
no, not at all.
We'll be right back.
It burns!
Suck it up.
Oh, it burns!
Suck it up, man.
We are back with more of Start Today with Valerie Bertinelli. And as mentioned, she's going to be sharing her wellness journey with us over the next few months. And she's also created some tailored meal plans, including a 7-night dinner menu. You can find it at today.com/starttoday. And on top of all of that, Valerie's inviting you to share your tips for eating healthy on the go on our Instagram page. We all need that.
Please help me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is like a two-way street.
Yes.
We want the help from the audience, and hopefully we're going to help the audience. Your first recipe is Italian wedding soup. I love it, but it can be with the pasta and maybe a little greasy meatball, maybe not that healthy.
A little high in the carb count, and what I really want to try and do is kind of cut back on the carbs, really cut back on the sugar, and really pump up some veggies.
Okay.
So what we're going to start now is with the meatballs, and I've got an onion in here. I'm not going to... An onion in here, some garlic, some parsley, and you're going to get that chopped up, and this thing will save your life because you don't have to sit there and chop forever. Then you want to add in some turkey. You can use dark meat or light meat, whichever you prefer, and then a bunch of Parmesan cheese. So that's all that's going in the meatball.
Okay. And by the way, mind your manners because Martha's over there. I know. Valerie's like, no pressure.
This meat can be pretty sticky, so sometimes I'll use a two-spoon method, and I'll just kind of get them going like that. And form them, or you can use this little guy, but I broke mine right before I was like testing this recipe. So, but
a little melon slicer.
A little melon slicer or ice cream maker.
And it's turkey meatball, so it's lighter.
It is lighter, right? But we're still having a lot of healthy fat in there, and Parmesan cheese is great because it's lower in fat, but it's got that saltiness. So you don't add a lot of salt in there. So we got our meatballs, and we're going to put them into this pan, get them nice and brown.
You got a little oil in there.
A little bit of oil, about a tablespoon of olive oil, a healthy, good fat for you. So all the meatballs go in. Obviously, there'll be a lot more meatballs than this. And you just get those browned on every side. We're not going to have time for all that. But I want to show you next what happens. So you're going to take all these meatballs out and put them to the side because then you want to start the base of your soup, which is your mirepoix, which is onions and carrots and celery. And you want really nice, small little pieces, little bite-sized pieces. You kind of want them to disappear. So you get them nice and small. And then what you'll do is get a little bit more oil in there if you need some, if the turkey meatballs have like sopped it all up. And then you get the mirepoix in here and get it all nice and sauteed. And this is going to be a lot of flavor to add to your soup.
Is this the same pot that had the meatballs previously?
Same exact pot.
Don't clean it or anything.
Don't dirty a bunch of pots either. This is pretty much a one-pan meal. So once those get softened, the onions and the carrots and the celery, we're going to add in a couple...
the whole thing?
The whole thing of chicken broth. Chicken broth, chicken stock.
Well, I thought chicken broth and stock were the same.
I think, well, chicken broth is not made with bones, Martha. Is that where? Oh, look, she's eating my soup. Yeah. She must like it.
What do you think, Martha? I think it's very, very tasty.
Oh, thank you.
And light and tasty. And the vegetables are good. They're perfectly cooked. And the meatballs are they turkey meatballs?
They're turkey meatballs with a lot of parm.
I like that.
Yeah. So we're going to add the meatballs back in, and then for a really nice, I mean, it's not wedding soup without escarole, so you have to have the escarole, but I do suggest that you really clean these guys out because they can get really muddy. So what I'll do is I usually will chop it all up and put it into my salad spinner.
And then,
get it a good couple washes, then it's good, and then you throw all that in there, and it's going to feel like a big mound of escarole, but it slowly starts to wilt. And
you cover it, or you just leave it hanging?
Keep it open, and just keep popping it down with your tongs or whatever you're using. And then you have this gorgeous soup right here.
It's beautiful. And so the traditional Italian wedding soup would have had this little pasta.
These cute little pasta, like orzo.
Exactly.
Or pearls.
It looks like a little bean or something. Yes?
Hi, Carson Daly here, longtime listener, first-time caller. Valerie, going back to the meatballs, do you fully cook them, or do you take them out slightly under, knowing they're going to be in a hot broth?
Take them out slightly under, and then build your soup. And then as the soup kind of simmers back up again, the meatballs will cook through.
And then how long do you keep them in there to get it, make sure it's all cooked
up? It doesn't really matter. I mean, it depends on how long it takes for the escarole to really wilt down. But, I mean, it's... I kept this.
Take them out a little early. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Valerie.
Martha's eating your soup. And
I'm so pleased that you like it, Martha.
She stole mine.
I know. So good. Thank you so much, Valerie. I'm so happy we're on this journey together.
Me too.
You really inspired us.
Me too.
For that recipe and her entire 7-night dinner plan, you can go to today.com/starttoday.
And we're happy that we're back with Today Food and happy to have our next guest with us live in the studio.
Maybe ecstatic is the right word. Lydia Bastianich, the queen of Italian cuisine. She's also a best-selling author, award-winning chef, wonderful person. She makes cooking look easy, which I appreciate very much.
And she's got a new book out. What number book is this, Lydia?
Number 11.
Number 11. Lydia's a pot, a pan, a bowl, simple recipes for perfect meals. It is so great to have you here. It's been a tough
We've missed you during the pandemic, doing the
I
food.
I missed you guys.
It's been a couple of tough years for a lot of people, especially for your family the last year. I know you lost your mother. How's everybody holding up?
We're okay. We're okay.
Yeah.
You know, between the restaurant, the COVID, my mother. But life goes on, and we need to do some cooking. Cooking sort of heals you.
It does.
Doesn't it?
A lot of love in these dishes.
Especially this dish is onion soup. Simple, straightforward. Lots of onions.
Okay.
Cut them thick.
What kind? Just white onions? Any kind of onions?
White onions. Nice white onions. A little butter, a little bit of oil, and you get you see how nice and brown you get these onions?
The smell is delicious.
This is.
How long does it take to caramel to get to that state?
Well, if you're close and you're mixing, you can speed it up a little bit. But otherwise, you know, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you add lots of mushrooms in here
now,
again.
is that typical for onion soup to have mushrooms?
No, this is Lydia's way.
I thought so. And I love mushrooms.
Oh, you do? Well, I thought, you know, just adding a little bit more, making it the Italian way like that. And then you move on because this takes a while to cook.
Yeah.
You get it nice and caramelized. And we're going to add some salt here.
Okay.
Make sure you add salt. Some thyme. You want to put in the thyme?
I love it.
Go ahead.
I've got the time.
You got the time to do the thyme. The wine?
Yes.
Go for it.
Just any old white wine or like a dry white wine or?
Dry.
Yes,
dry
okay,
white
dry
wine. I'll put the stalks, some pepper, grind some pepper.
Should I go crazy on the pepper or just a little?
Depends what you like. What do you like?
Medium.
So you see, this is so easy.
Nobody
so
ever
nice.
makes this at home, but it's actually easy.
Yeah.
I feel like nobody makes this onion soup. Like it's difficult.
Yeah,
but
it's
not.
difficult, but it's not. Once you made it, and then you can make different days. You know, it doesn't have to be all in one day. We can do it like this individually. You let it boil. You let it sort of. You like it? Okay. You top it. Put it in individually, or you can do it family style, just like that.
What is the cheese on top?
This is grana, and this is fontina cheese.
Fontina.
And you put the toast right on top.
Lydia, the mushrooms are a revelation in
Isn't
onion
that good?
soup, don't you think, Dan?
What do you guys think?
Yes, it's fantastic.
It, you know, it gives it body.
It
gives
really does. That
It
like
makes it a meal.
chewiness.
It makes it a meal. And then if you have a nice salad just like that, you see, just like this, you put it on a tray, you put it in the oven.
And you just you're baking off the top of it. Everything's already cooked, right?
Everything is cooked.
It's
So
done.
you can do
Easy.
this ahead of time. When your guests come,
Oh, you just throw it in the oven for
throw it
10
in the
minutes,
oven.
you're done.
Have a little salad. Again, while you have the oven going, a little bit of acorn squash, carrots, roast them, toss them with escarole. You know, escarole is a nice winter soup, winter salad, endive. And you put some toasted almonds, some cheche beans.
What kind of dressing do you like?
That's balsamic vinegar and oil. Simple.
The squash in this just makes it. It
Isn't
really
the squash
does.
good?
Squash is fantastic.
Yeah. Do you like the cheese, the ricotta salata on top?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get over here.
Salty's good.
Yeah. So you know ricotta salata. Ricotta, we all love ricotta. It's like curds of fresh milk. But you know, when the farmers got a lot of ricotta, they would dry it, salt it, and it will keep longer.
This is such a
But
pretty
it turns
salad.
out into a ricotta salata, used in Italy a lot on salads, on pastas, on all kinds of stuff.
What is your house like at Christmas, around the Thanksgiving, around the holidays?
Oh, it's wonderful. It smells wonderful.
I can only
The
imagine.
tree, kids running around. They're big now, my kids. You know, they used to be small. But I get the neighbors' kids.
Because this meal, this is just like a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Bastiana,
Exactly, yeah.
Imagine Thanksgiving.
We'd be 400
I'm taking
pounds.
that whole pot home.
Congratulations.
But you see, these are all recipes in the new book. Simple, one pot,
Yep,
straightforward, you know, and not too many pots to clean.
No, exactly.
Delicious, delicious. Now, this is made, I think, with chicken stock, but you can make it also vegetarian with
Well, it is
vegetable
fantastic.
stock.
So get your hands on
Yeah.
Lydia's a pot, a pan, and a bowl. Just head to today.com/shop, and we're going to have her recipes for you available today.com/food.
Lydia, thank you.
Thank you, Lydia.